Okay, so now that it's up, I thought I would take some time to do a hopefully quick review of this Erommy um, 12 by 20 gazebo that we bought from Home Depot. So, um, spoiler in the beginning, very, very frustrated with this particular vendor um, throughout all of it. So, this I'll walk you around as I'm talking. So, this, as we purchased it and had it delivered, ended up having one of the boxes damaged. And through that damage, basically punctured one of the boxes and ended up then. They come with sheets of basically these bolts in order to put the whole thing together, like these and the ones down to the bottom here. So in the process of that, called Home Depot. Home Depot said, "Well, you have to call the vendor." Well, the vendor uh, has a California number. However, they are actually in Jamaica. And as part of the process, they asked me which one of the boxes was damaged. And I said it was box number 2. And they said, we have to send the full box to you. We can't just send you those parts. Now, this is kind of par for the course, as I've seen other reviews from this particular company saying exactly the same thing, or we'll give you like $50 credit for damaged parts, blah, 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 blah. So um, they, in the process of that, say, we're going to give you a partial credit for it. And they ended up charging over the first day $633 and another $1,800 to our account. We're working with our bank. Sorry, blah, blah, blah. Don't dispute it because um, they'll basically block us from being able to put this money in your account because we have to ship it. Home Depot's probably going to charge you, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so very next day, call back up, and they want to go and see where things are at. And they put me on a 45-minute hold, and now another $2,600 has been charged to my account that I did not authorize. And so now we're on the phone with Home Depot. We're on the phone with our bank trying to dispute all this stuff. So long and short of it is some of the charges fell off, some of them stuck, and now we have $3,100 that were in dispute. Plus, they took our card because it doesn't. They can't get into Home Depot's system to do all of this stuff. So stupidly ended up giving them our card to do this credit back. Well, not only did they charge all this money, they signed us up for Apple Pay, which neither one of us have iPhones. They ended up charging like $95.55 on one of our cards, which we ended up disputing. Plus, all of this, the biggest frustration is they're not even in the United States. So while they have a California number that they use to dupe people, they are actually in Jamaica. So they run their company out of something like a Walmart down there called Price Mart. And that's who all these charges came through. So they're international charges. It's a different currency. So we ended up getting charged like $79 on one of those charges and another 13. So we're dealing with all of that at this point. So um, assembly. This thing was such a nightmare. So you would think, and I'll take you back outside. So the panels were the worst to try and get together. So If you look from the corner, there's kind of a triangular piece, and then it goes up into this channel here. And by the way, I have a way to make that a little easier in terms of those Z pieces, because they just like fall off and move and stuff like that. And this is like for gazebos in general when you're putting these together, some tips that we learned through this. So maybe I'll create another video about that. Anyway, so we got to these two middle pieces here, and I don't know if you can see, I'll point them out, like here and here, and those are straight. So you'd think, oh, it shouldn't be that difficult to put them in, and then there's a channel up at the top there that they have to slide into, and then everything has to line up, and then they go over pieces here. And so my wife and I spent probably 2 hours on that panel alone because it would not line up no matter what we did. These pieces are not firm, they're very flexible. So when you try to get them up in the top channel, we actually had to, there was a bent corner spot up in there, so you couldn't actually get it to slide into the channel, and we had to get up back up there with a ladder, and ended up doing that. So all in all, in total, so I spent probably 4 hours Saturday and Sunday just building the upright pieces here, and then all of these kind of connector pieces where all of these go together, and then brought them out into the yard. We had 4 people, some of our friends, come over on a Sunday, and then we spent 3 hours with them, then basically getting all of this up. And then on the inside here, there are these rib pieces that we ended up putting up, and then all of the panels, then my wife and I ended up putting up. That took us so 3 hours with them to stand the whole thing up and put those rib pieces on. It was another 3 hours for 5 days at least to get all of the roof panels on, and then securing the corners down into the concrete. So when we added it all up, it was 38 hours to get it up and into place and all that. Then there was probably another 4 hours for putting curtains up and drilling the anchor bolts and things like that. So we've gotten a ton of compliments on it. However, we still aren't over the disaster that Home Depot has allowed a vendor like Erommy to actually be in their store anymore. As I put it to them, if you had a employee who took down your credit card through checkout, and then ended up charging a bunch of stuff, what would you do? And they said, we would terminate that person. I'm like, exactly. Why haven't you terminated this person out of your store? And it's not just Home Depot. So I did some more research, and these guys are on Amazon. They sell a bunch of their stuff. In fact, I think they may use Amazon as, okay, people were dissatisfied with this particular product. They returned it, and they just box them up and then sell them for cheaper on Amazon, it seems. And then also, it seems like they definitely are selling on Walmart. So if you want to look them up, I'll maybe put down in the description some of the reviews of this particular company, as well, from the Walmart store, because they're just like horror story after horror story on there too. So would I do it again? Perhaps. Definitely not with this particular vendor and through all of the strife that we've encountered with this. It's nice. We've been out here in the mornings and stuff, and we'll close up the curtains so the sun behind me is the east, so it still kind of streams in underneath the gazebo in the morning. However, with those curtains closed, it's super nice. The other thing that we've encountered here is when putting it together, um, my wife noticed that this particular two panels, and they all come zipped together. All of the screens and the canvas pieces come zipped together. This one's missing a tooth, so you can't undo it without it never being able to be put back together, or just completely breaking it, and then I don't know how we're going to replace those panels. So eventually, we'll probably put up lights in here. However, we just were basically barely able to get it up before Labor Day here, and wanted to make sure that I put this video out here in order to warn people about this particular vendor. Now, if you're looking at gazebos, there's other ones that like a Kozyard that are out there. They're basically exactly the same in terms of their construction. They are about $100 more, I think, on Home Depot when I had looked at them, and have better reviews and better customer service, it seems. There's also another company out there that I didn't do too much research on. However, I used some of their videos in terms of some tips and tricks to put this thing together, called Domi, Domi, I believe. And so you may want to check them out as well. So again, closing up this video, very unhappy with this particular vendor. The construction of this thing is questionable at best. So really not super happy with the build quality of it. And would I do it again? Probably not. Probably not with these guys for sure. So hope you have a great rest of your day. Any questions, feel free to poke them down into the comments, and I will try to answer any of those questions for you. All right. So as always, people don't care how much you know until you know how much you care. And I care about you all a bunch. That's why I'm creating this video. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.